Dear friends, welcome to my channel, Jomatha, Nazareth. A short story, Don't Despise a Stray Dog. Presented by J.M. Thomas, Nazareth. My cousin picked me up at Bangalore Cantonment railway station. After a few minutes of travel, our cab drew up with a scream of brake in front of my cousin's house. I had been there on a business errand. No sooner had I stepped out of the cab than a white stray dog with unsightly marks and patches showed its hostility in its repulsive style of barking and growling, ready to pounce on me. As for that stray dog, I was just an intruder. With lightning speed, I drew my legs in and shut the door. Warning off the dog, my cousin rushed to the rescue. Making sure that the dog had fled the scene, I got down from the cab. What an ugly creature! Whose dog is this? No man's dog. A stray dog. What else do you want to know about the dog? His tone was lightly sarcastic. What a grand welcome. Why do you keep this foul-smelling monster around here? Better place a beware of dogs board inside your cab. I too said with a touch of sarcasm. Be cool. Come on in. I feel like smashing it right now, angrily I said. Would you like to invite trouble from the Blue Cross? I was speechless upon hearing the word Blue Cross. I had a hectic schedule for the day with a team of creditors with whom I had a long-standing business. Everything worked very smoothly in good time. My cousin drove me back to lunch. After taking a nap I sat for tea. My phone rang melodiously while I was relishing a pudding cake, a favorite of mine. As the signal was very weak, I came out for better audibility. The stray dog was there at a distance, looking at me with dark staring eyes. During the conversation on the phone showing vigorous hand gestures, the piece of cake fled from my fingered grip. The airborne cake darted exactly onto the stray dog and with precision, it caught the piece in midair. Its tail began to wag after gulping the cake. Thankfully gazing at me it was expecting another piece to fly. By the time, the battery ran out midway. Being irritated, stepping back swiftly, I slammed the door in disgust, to avoid recognizing the dog's expression of thanks. Satisfied in doing so, the reason that I have shown my deep hatred for the stray dog. I had a deep-rooted aversion to this dog from the time it barked at me. A road about 1 kilometer in length, leads towards a shopping complex at the far end, adjacent to the market square. In such a new area, going forth and back along the straight road is as easy as pie. To pass the time, I strolled along the road, watching the stalls on both sides. The street vendors had encroached the sidewalk, spreading fancy goods and articles for sale. By the time reaching the market square, a riot broke out as a local hooligan was arrested. Due to pandemonium, people scattered in every direction. Not knowing what to do I stood aside dumbfounded. In no minute police vehicles from all directions rushed to the spot, and cleared off the road. A regiment of cops blocked the road with barricades and stood on guard. Being confused amidst the state of the commotion, I prepared my way back on the same road. I tried to thrust my way through, between the gaps in the barricade. One of the cops stood on guard stopped me. Pitiably I asked for his permission to go through the barricade. It would be easy to catch the straight road. The irritated cop barked at me and pointed his finger in the other direction though I grinned at him in a friendly way. There was no way to explain my situation to him. Worst of all, I forgot to take the mobile phone, which was attached to the charger. Burning questions started scrolling on the mind screen. How can I contact my cousin, without having a phone? Or without his number? Without his address, how would I find the way back? Without knowing what to do, I wandered through a narrow street, hoping to reach the straight road. The streets were abandoned. I wondered whether any living human beings were there. Every shop, house, kiosk, etc. was closed. Feeling hungry, I looked for a tea stall, but nothing was open. Luckily a hut, selling tea and vada, was open ajar. A few vadas were there on the tray. I took a vada through the bamboo grill and tried to taste it. It was starting to go rotten. How could I eat it? No dustbin was kept there to put it in. The best thing was to throw it away. When I threw the rotten vada, an unwanted guest, a stray dog, darted from nowhere, and caught the vada in midair, with precision. To my surprise, it was the same stray dog I encountered that morning in front of my friend's house. From years of experience, it could have developed such a skill, to catch in midair. In one gulp, the Vardus went down the digestive tract. It started wagging its tail. It was a sure sign of asking for more. How come the stray dog was there by this time? This must be the foraging point. A fancy idea flickered. The only companion available for me by that time was this stinking dog. Somehow or other, it would go back to its abode, the front yard of my cousin's house. If only I follow it. Nothing wrong with feeding it, with some more Vardus. There were 3 more Vardus left on the tray. It was rare good luck for the dog, and vice versa. In 3 gulps, the Vardus were gone. I made a gesture to come. With a wagging tail and wiggle, the stray dog, with a friendly motion, came to me. But the stink was unbearable, that a wave of nausea swept over me. Come what may, I must tolerate. No other go. After settling my account with the shop owner, I started moving in the same direction as I came. The dog went the other way, looking back to see whether I was following it. The stray dog took me through its usual route, the rough and tough winding lanes. Sometimes, it stopped en route at several dumping yards. I had to wait till the dog finished its scavenging. By doing so, I made myself a laughingstock to the passers-by. Finally, we arrived at our destination late at night. My cousin and the members of his family were anxiously waiting for me. They had been more worried about every passing minute. They gave a big cheer when I finally arrived safely. I rang you. But your phone was ringing here. How did you find the way back? What to say? It was a mixture of a good and bad experience. I explained how all things worked together for good. According to my itinerary, I left early morning to catch the 5 o'clock train. The stray dog followed the car to the railway station, to send me off. Amidst tears rolling down, I asked my cousin to take care of the dog. Do not despise a stray dog. This was a good lesson I learned in my life. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe for more.